we're off on another little trip now. So this is just a quick day trip. We were going to camp this weekend, but with it being Mother's Day tomorrow, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, we decided, you know what, we just do a day trip, then we chill at home with the family tomorrow. Maybe get very brave and take the wife shopping for Mother's Day. That could be a terrible experience, but we're going to see. Nonetheless, we're on the road, we're off on another little adventure. We're going to go meet friends of mine, Ryan and Jackie, and the little ones. Go check what we can find out in the Karkloof area today. One of the things I'm going to be showing you today is a 12-volt air fryer from a mate of mine, Rob, from Adventure X Lithium Batteries. Now, a lot of people don't enjoy change, and that's going to be the large context of what I'm talking about now. Is how much negativity I experienced on my other social media platforms when I shared this 12-volt air fryer. And it's purely because people are unwilling to embrace different things as being an option. You know, the comments we got ranged from, oh my god, it's so expensive, to that's not camping, to oh, amp usage is too high. Guys, things have evolved significantly from what it was 20, 25 years ago. Camping is not the same. As with anything, you know, you can't expect stuff that is popular not to evolve, not to be improved upon and undergo technological advancements. It's just purely normal. I don't see anybody complaining that medicine's evolved, that CT scans and MRIs are becoming more and more efficient and more effective. No one complains about that. Granted, it's not apples and apples, but camping is a very, very, very big industry, and it's growing. Despite what people might say, it is a growing industry, and that's worldwide, not just here locally in South Africa. If you follow me on my other socials, you would have seen it already. I did post a couple of reels and things about it, which did gain a little bit of traction, and brought me all the negativity, which is not a bad thing. Trust me, the negativity doesn't frustrate me. It makes me laugh because it shows how simple and closed-minded people are. However, there's a lot of stuff we need to consider when we discuss a product like a 12-volt air fryer. You can't compare that to what you've got at home. You need to remember your Philips air fryer at home is round about 1800 watts. It runs on 220 volts, so the amp draw of that item at your house is very low. If you'd like to work that out, I'm not going to try because I unfortunately completed school with a functional maths grade. You work on essentially a pyramid. So you'll have your watts at the top with your little T, and then volts and amps underneath. So you take 1800 watts divided by 220 volts will give you the amount of amps that you're going to be using. And if I had a guess, it's going to be probably around about 9 or so. In comparison to the 300 watt Adventure X air fryer on 12 volts that uses around 25 amps. So there is a significant difference in the power consumption. However, what you need to understand is if you wanted to put a Philips air fryer or any other air fryer that's 1800 watts into your car and go and camp off grid with that, you will very, very quickly find it is a hugely costly exercise. You would need an inverter 1.5 times the wattage to run that air fryer. Why do I say 1.5 times? Well, for safety's sake and longevity of the item, you don't want to match your peak output on your inverter to your average load on your item. So if you're going to put a 2000 watt inverter and you know you're going to consistently use an 1800 watt appliance, you are using that inverter to its almost maximum capacity all the time, which is not ideal. So you want to go 1.5 times, so a little bit bigger. Right, so 2,500 watts would be pretty much fine for an 1800 watt air fryer. But what no one tells you is a proper pure sine wave 2.5 kVA or 2,500 watt inverter is going to set you back close to 10,000 Rand. And now when you use that inverter with something like a 220 volt air fryer, you are not just drawing your little 9-10 amps that you would at home. No. Remember, you're pulling power from a 12 volt battery and converting it to 220 volts. So what you're doing now is you need to do that same equation, but with 12 volts, not 220. And you'll quickly see you jumping up into the 100s, 120s, 150 amp hour loads. That brings me to the next point. Is your lithium battery that you bought capable of sustaining a output that high for 15-20 minutes? Probably not, because most lithium batteries sold, especially the take-a-lot ones, for example, have a 0.5 C rating. Now a C rating is the charge-discharge rating, and it's measured in a percentage essentially. A 0.5 C, so then you take your capacity of the battery, multiply it by 0.5, and that is what your peak maximum output you can do on that BMS before your battery disengages and shuts down. So if you have 100 amp hour lithium, you can only safely discharge 50 amp hour loads or 50 amp loads without that BMS either failing or shutting down. And I don't see anyone else talking about that, but yet everyone thinks they know everything about lithium batteries. Guys, you need to make sure the battery you choose can handle the loads you're going to put on them. In any case, the exercise I did with Rob is we calculated the costs to work out essentially how much it would cost you to put a 220 volt air fryer in your car and use it off grid, and it works out to just on about 20k. Whereas most of us have a simple dual battery system. With lithium batteries being so readily available these days, a lot of people have already converted to at least a 100 amp hour battery. So now you talk about a 12 volt air fryer that draws 25 amps. Even the cheap lithium batteries can run that. Your sealed lead acid battery can run that, provided you have some form of external input like solar, or like us, you use the air fryer while you're driving. And it's a reasonable thing to do. Your Road Chef, Travel Buddy, 12 volt ovens, whichever they are, they're all the same thing, just rebranded. Those draw around 10 amps with the small ones, with a single element at the top. And everyone who's got one knows, and no one really else talks about it, but everyone who has one knows, if you want to cook something in that thing, you're in for about 2 to 3 hours. So they cook while they drive. It's the same with the air fryer. It's not quick, it's only 300 watts. So you want to make a bowl of slap chips with cheese and sort of make some nachos or something, you're in for 40 minutes of cooking time. So you do it while you drive. You stop, you take your stuff out, and you eat a hot meal while your mates are still trying to get their fire lit and figure out when the coals are ready to cook their frozen wors. It's about convenience, guys. That's what it's about. But anyway, let's carry on. I'll show it to you just now. Right. Yeah, there we go. So this dude pretty much runs on a timer. It's set up here in the van, it's strapped down. There is a fair bit of space behind it, so we're gonna just keep checking. It doesn't move. It runs at 200 degrees constantly. So there we go. That's the air fryer that people tell me is why I do not actually camp anymore. So you won't see now, but obviously There's not much solar. The batteries are 100%. The air fryer is on, and I'm still putting current in, and obviously we're driving. So no matter what happens, the way I'm doing things now, even with our fridge on and everything else running, we're still able to maintain the batteries full capacity and run the air fryer. So it's a win for us, I reckon. We've made our way out to Karkloof Falls for the day. Weather's not superb, very overcast. Nonetheless, still a lacquer day, kids will have a drawl. We've driven predominantly gravel roads from Maritzburg to get here. Just enjoying the forestry roads. Something a little different, you know. You can jump on the tar road and get to your destination really quickly, or you can take a slight detour and try and find new things. We swung past a spot called Petey's Lake, which is like an estate where you can purchase a cabin and come up and have a cabin all to yourself, or you can come and camp, and they've got a little lake, and you know, just proper Midlands vibe in KZN, yeah. So that was interesting to see. Never been there before, didn't even know they existed. And now we are, this is the Karkloof Falls Road, I believe. And once we get there, I'll give you guys a bit of an update on my air fryer meal that I'm making for the kids to nibble on. Here we go. Getting there. That is about 20 minutes in so far, so another 10-15 minutes and the kids can catch something to eat. So this is the viewpoint for the falls. There they are. How cool is that?
You need the contract. You need the contract. That was me. That was me. That was me. I'm gonna burn this.
Really
But when she said, how that is strong?
I got like a whole bag full.
I don't know, but let me break it. Fire!
Make fire.
On fire!
This is Alex's spare clothes. People ask me, why do you have so many spare clothes for your kid? I'm going to tell you really easily. I'm going to show you first where we are. So have a look at this. Here's the river right here. Had today not been so cold and so overcast, those kids would have been in and out of that river. So we need spare clothes for that. At the moment, they are playing in the sand, so they're dirty. You need spare clothes for that. I made a promise to myself when I became a father that my child would never miss out or lose out on an opportunity to have fun and adventure because of my poor planning. And having a bag of clothes like this, with how often we are outdoors, it's a no-brainer, honestly it is. So that's how we roll. Gonna get the kid cleaned and dressed up, and then we're gonna head that way. So yeah, this is ginger ones are 10 out of 10. Serious guys, this is nice. What you need, lad, besides a change, you are filthy. Yes, you are too. Savage. No man. Animal. You're a rabbit. And just like that, our little day trip here to Karkloof Falls and the picnic site here is over. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, and we'll catch you on the next one. Laka.